Waters. As the lights go out, heat race or B main number 1 on the racetrack. Hey, how many transfers? The top 7 cars transfer, and around goes the 38 of Mighty Mike, and we got more trouble at the back of the tail of the field. Back here, should just take one more trip around the racetrack before we turn the lights out and send them back. Or how about that? How about we just go right now? We don't play games here at Timberline. We're backing away. Sean Graham gets a good start to the inside. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway on the restart. Into 1 and 2. They're going to go 4 wide into 1 and 2. 4, 3 wide. Sean Graham and the Triple X rocket is on the march to the front. Oh my. He tuned up that WCH power plant underneath the hood, built by Jamie Wells, is rocking and rolling to the front, and Triple X digging around the hub of the racetrack. He'd go to second of the caution waves. Kind of stacked up on the start. We're underway from Timberline for the 3rd different restart here, and Strickland's off in the infield. Into 1. Brown going to lead them. They're going to go 2 by 2. Trying to go 3 wide here. Look at the Nightmare Michael Knighton way up top where Grandpa keeps the good bourbon. Now 96 going to try to roll up to the top. And 96. Keep your eyes on 96. He'll go to the tail fed of the 007s. They're door-to-door for the race lead off of 4. Florine, Louisiana's Brian Cook. And the Outlaw chassis number 58 going to stock the 97 of Brandon Brown into 1. They're going to go 1 by 2 for the 3rd spot. Door-to-door there for 3rd. Down the max straightaway. Sean Graham trying to roll back to the front again. They'll go door-to-door with the 81 of Ingalls. He'll slam it in hard into turn number 3 and trying to take a sole command of the 5th spot. Around goes Dustin Yacht. And finishing him off is the 38 of Mighty Mike, who had absolutely nowhere to go. And the green stays out. Not necessarily clean and green, but Dustin Yacht will not get the caution he's looking for. So off of 4, it'll be B. Brown. Brandon Brown up front leading in 97 over the 58 of Florine, Louisiana's Brian Cook. Jonathan Beckett in 3rd. Up to 4th. Undoubtedly has one of the best cars on the racetrack right now. Trouble Sean Graham. The outside looking into the 8 spots. 3-wheel Neil Kemp. Paul Lopez. Dustin Robinette. Look how many cars Robinette passed in just 2 green flag laps. Robinette all the way from the tail up to 10th. The lights are out. We're backing away here at Timberline Speedway. Race on Texas on demand. And 1. They're going to go. Oh, and Sean Graham's going to get a little shot in the shorts there. And he never came to a stop. Nor did Baker. Oh, my. The green stays out. How does that happen? And Neil Kemp is slowed down the back straightaway. Neil Kemp may have been hoping for a caution there. And around goes Mighty Mike right in front of the field. And around goes Perry again. Oh, my goodness. They're bouncing around like ping pong balls out here.
James Hanna in the game, number 84. Slot to the near side. Prescott with time, throws deep down the sideline. There's Dez, and there's the end zone.
So touchdown to Dez Bryant. Brandon Brown looking to hit a home run here off of 4 at 97. He'll take the green flag up front with a race lead. Backing away. Oh, making contact up front for the race leads. The 58. Give him a shot in the shorts. Hello, how you doing? Brian Cook going to ruffle some feathers here. And the 97 of Brown going to look to pitch him off in the corner down to the hub. Brown going to get marched and moved out of the way for the race lead. 58 to the top spot. Ooh, boy. A little bit of feathers being ruffled here at Timberline Speedway. Brandon Brown, not somebody that I particularly want to roll through because he'll roll back right through your back bumper. Watch Brandon. Brandon going to drive it in deep. Hello, I like your left rear. Shows him a little bit of conservative play there off of 4 down the front boulevard. 58 of the Florine, Louisiana racer Brian Cook still leads. Cook leads the 97 of Brandon Brown. Texarkana's Jonathan Beckett, trouble Sean Graham out of Shreveport's the 4th. Ricky Ingalls in 81 out of Longview, Texas gives a little shot there to the Triple X off a dude down the back straightaway. The 96 of Michael Knighton in 6th, and the 7th and final transfer spots 22B of Baker. Looks like Graham may have a flat tire. Does he? Or does he not? Kind of hard to tell from my vantage point. The car is starting to step out from underneath him. Beckett is going to go to the outside of the 97 for the Bridesmaids Honors in this one. He'll take it. Jonathan Beckett rising to the occasion. The hard charger gets a shot there to the left rear from the 97 of Brandon Brown, and the caution is back out. Original restarts and multiple attempts to get this one started. We're only 4 laps scored, 16 to go. You're going to see a lot of high attrition As the blood might start to boil here, as guys start to work their way or try to attempt to get into this show. Only 7 spots are guaranteed. Lights are out. We're back underway. Watch the red 24 of Bo Perry trying to work it. As they try to go 3 wide, they're door-to-door there. And the 66, and around goes the 5F of Neil Kemp. And that collects the 38. Your top 4 comfortably in hand. Off a 2 down the back straight on the restart. Beckett going to knock on the back door for the race lead of the 58 of Cook. Cook going to drift high, wide, and handsome off a 4. Open up the race lead for the 0. Beckett to go to his inside for the top spot down the front straightaway in the 1. The 58 trying to pitch it down to Beckett. Going to go to the race lead. Texarkana's Jonathan Beckett slides up in front of the 58's nose for the top spot. And Brandon Brown back to the inside of 58 trying to return the favor. Hello, how you doing? He'll go to his inside for second. The bridesmaids honors wide open in this one. And here comes trouble. Sean Graham going to throw his hat into the ring and become a player. They're 3 wide for transfer. 3 wide for transfer in this one, folks. Oh, my. 3 wide for the 7th and final transfer spot. Colt 45, Dean Narasco, baby. That's all you need down the back straightaway in Colt 45. The 5 and the Colt 45 and the red 24 all going at it. And around goes nearly Tracy Baker. He caught it and held on to the handle. And the 5 of Paul Lopez going to look to pinch off the nose of the 24 into 1. They're 3 wide here. That is once again for the 7th and final transfer spot. That's what you love to see. Good hard racing for transfer. Right now it occupies the 24 of Bo Perry. Perry in the 7th and final spot. He'll go to the inside of the 22 of Baker. They are going at it. Oh, Perry going to get it in the tail. Taking around goes Bo Perry. Had absolutely nowhere to go. After the 50% of this race complete. 50% to go. Beckett out of Texarkana, your leader over the hooks. Texan Brandon Brown. Shreveport Sean Graham back to 4th after leading 5 laps as the 58 of Brian Cook from Florine, Louisiana. Ricky Ingalls in the 5th spot. Tracy Baker in the 7th and final transfer spot. Dustin Yount in the 007 is going to be one to watch here as he tries to work his way back into the show after getting turned early in this one in 007. As Rasco, the Colt 45 was not here last night. He is in the 6th spot. Baker going to get some love to the inside of the final transfer spot from the Styles Automotive Dominator chassis number 96 from Keithville, Louisiana, Michael Knighton. Michael Knighton to the inside for the final transfer spot, and here comes the Golden Gun. The 007 of Dustin Yount right behind that battle for the final transfer spot. He'll hook the hub, smash the lab pedal off of 4 to the inside of the 22B he goes. So right now, the 96 of the Nightmare, Michael Knighton, at the 7th and final transfer spot down the back straightaway. Around goes Paul Lopez out of Princeton, Louisiana. He does not get the 5-car refired, and the caution is out. Bo Perry got he got a sizable restart in the red number 24 Laser race car. So and around goes 007 of Dustin Yount again. Scotty Hilschelbeck has the black flag out ready for somebody. Oh, I'm not sure if he black flagged the 24 or if he just showed it to him. Ingalls drives it in deep to the inside of the 58. Across his nose he goes, and they're going to go 3 wide for 4th down the front boulevard into 1. Rasco, all kinds of out of shape with that. Into 1. Oh my goodness, the 81 and 58 make more contact, and Rasco's going to go right by, and around goes the 7th and final transferee of the Nightmare, Michael Knighton. They are going at it. So Bo Perry in the 7th and final transfer spot. finally down to 2 laps to go in this one. And Skeet Amison has found his way to the 7th and final transfer spot down the back straightaway into turn number 3 with a white flag waving in front of the face of the Texarkana ace, Jonathan Beckett. Down the front boulevard into turn number 1 for the final time. It'll be Beckett, your leader in 0, followed by the 97 of Brandon Brown. Third is Trouble Sean Graham, who's found his way from 8th to 3rd. Colt 45 of Dean Rascal out of Wascom had a stellar performance in this one. Off of 4, a face full of checkered flag, your opening race winner of the night. B-main number 1 winner goes to Texarkana's Jonathan Beckett, followed by Brandon Brown. Trouble Sean Graham 3rd. Colt 45 of Rasco 4th. 5th will go to Florian, Louisiana's Brian Cook. 6th, Ricky Ingles, and the 7th and final transfer goes to the F5 of Skeet Amison. O'Connell, I said it all night last night for some reason. It's Cliff O'Connell from Mount Pleasant, Texas, who had a nice display last night. Had a little bit of bad luck, though. He'll be one to watch in this one in 366. Outside, the former runner-up of the 5,000 win Cajun Classic, the 88B, is Brandon Puryear from Nashville. Chance Morrison, the Smacker Chassis, number 6. The lights go out. Greenwood, Louisiana, Tiffany Welch, the Pink Racing, number 58. Uncle Freddie Blanchard in B7. Tyler and Joel Young in 71 and 4, respectively. The lights are out. We are green here at Timberline, and we'll get an early race caution into 1. I'll be honest. Original restart. We're backing away with Craig Oakes and the Argyle Texan. Ricky Sessions on the front row. TJ Evans and Pilkington in row 2. We're backing away. Craig Oakes going to lead the herd. They're going to go one by 2 wide. Door to door there for the 5th spot down the back straightaway as well. So into turn number 3. And rolling off of 4 with the race lead is the 15 of the Marshall Texan, Craig Oakes. Finally getting some green flag laps logged. Rick Edgerton is on the move right now in the 27 car. He'll go to the outside of the Marshall Texan, Pilkington, and the caution flag waves again. Blinded by the light and all that. All right, lights are going to go out for the Marshall Texan. Craig Oakes, your race leader, over the Kilgore Texan, TJ Evans. Lights are out. We are backing away. Ready to play. 20 laps total the distance in this one. The main number 2 for the factory stocks. Rick Edgerton to the outside of the 22 for Pilkington. 3 wide for 3rd. Off of 2 down the back straight. They're still 3 wide. They're door to door for the race lead. And they're 3 wide behind them for transfer. Look at this. They're 2 by 3 by 3 into turn number 3. Rolling off of 4. Now with the race lead. Your night number 2 winner here at Timberline earlier this season is the 215 TJ Evans. TJ Evans at the top spot. Won here earlier this season. And Ronald Pilkington going to go up to 3rd now. And the caution is back out. Lights are back out. With 2 scored, 18 to go. TJ Evans out of Kilgore, Texas, your race leader. Craig Oakes out of Marshall in 2nd. Followed by the other Marshall Texan, Ronald Pilkington. We're back underway here at Timberline Speedway and B-main number 2 for the factory stocks. The top 7 go to the main event tonight for $3,000 for the first annual Texas State Championships here at Timberline Speedway in Corley, Texas. On demand on raceontexas.com into 3. Pilkington going to fire a bullet into 3 to the inside of the 15 of Oakes for 2nd. One lap scored on that last read. Backing away, back into turn number 1. Alvadu down the back straightaway. Tiffany Welch got a little sorts off the exit of 2, headed down the back straightaway into turn number 3. We stay green. Not so clean, though, and they're sending to promoter school. Chris Shaw keeps the green flag out. But tough break, though, for Shaw out of Shreveport, Louisiana. So as the green flag stays out into turn number 3, Pilkington still firing all kinds of bullets to the inside of Oaks and then makes some contact there off of 4. All kinds of contact there for the bridesmaids in this one. Right now on the 7th and final transfer spot is occupied Rick Edgerton out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. The Fort Smith, Arkansas ace, Rick Edgerton, in the 7th and final transfer spot. James Thompson was like right there to the outside looking in, and all kinds of still contact taking place for the 2nd spot. A pair of Marshall Texans, Pilkington, and the 15 of Oaks. So TJ Evans starting to march his way from those competitors running 2nd and 3rd respectively. I think Pilkington, if he could get by, as they're all tucked and hugged right around the hub of the racetrack, Craig Oaks is making that car wider than a triple wide trailer right now, keeping the yellow number 22 at bay. And he tells Pilkington one more time to sit down and take a seat. I don't like it. Oh, and Ricky Sessions just lost the handle right in front of the field. And the 27 from Cameron, Oklahoma, Wesley Bourne, had nowhere to go. And that is the definition of the lights are out. We're back underway here at Timberline and Pilkington. Wait. What happened to TJ Evans? I didn't see what happened to TJ. Here comes Pilkington to the inside for the race lead. A pair of Marshall Texans going to go at it side by side for the top spot off of turn number 4, the doodle door at the flag stand. Oaks trying to fend off the deuce, the double deuce of Pilkington. And Pilkington will finally go by. The former $5,000 winner here at the Timberline Speedway in the Longhorn Classic takes over the reins of the top spot here into turn number 3 and rolling through the center and off of 4 and 22. He has the race lead now in sole possession. Pilkington up front and deuce. The 15 of Oaks in 2nd. Shirtlift out of Ashton, Arkansas is up to the 3rd spot respectively in 4th. Rick Edgerton in 5th. It's the 88B of Brandon Perrier, the former runner-up to Adam Roy in the Cajun Classic. Lee Carver, and I believe James Thompson right now is in the 7th and final transfer spot. James Thompson to the Mod Mafia 85 Outlaw chassis with best engine power plant underneath the hood, rides in 7th and final transfer spot down the front boulevard back into turn number 1. We are just over 50% complete in this race, with 12 laps scored, 8 laps to go. 8 to go here on RaceOnTexas.com on demand into turn number 3 and off before Pilkington out front with the race lead. Buck off of there. But Faith Green and Miss Cindy are working their way through the crowd. So if you see these 50-50 ladies, just wave your hands at them, make their job a little bit easier, and they'll come right to you. So the lights are back out. We are back underway with the Marshall Texan Ronald Pilkington, the former Longhorn Classic champion here at Timberline Speedway, leading the herd off of 2 down the back straightaway. After the longtime race leader out of Kilgore, Texas, who won here on night number 2, TJ Evans had a mishap under the caution. I did not see what happened to TJ, but bad luck strikes for TJ Evans. Of course, that was 2 cautions ago. And the 22 of Pilkington was able to knock the back bumper off the 15 of Craig Oaks and finally get to the top spot. He didn't rough him up too bad, though. He just let him know that he was there, kind of like... Okay, from what I can see up here in the booth right now, is it is super fogged. I'm going to have to get out of the booth here. The top 7 is occupied the 85 of JT James Thompson. Thompson in the 7th and final transfer spot. He'll head down the back straightaway and go to the inside of Carver for 6th. Can't get the job done. So Lee Carver in 6th. Joel Young out of Norman, Arkansas. And the number 71 trying to work through the back bumper to the 85 for the final transfer spot into turn number 2. Down the back straightaway approaching turn number 3. So right now, the Mod Mafia 85 of James Thompson has the 7th and final transfer spot in the cat bag. But he's shown some pressure from the Norman, Arkansas racer under the 71. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Freddie Blanchard limping the Cane River Financial ERC chassis B7 down the top side of the racetrack. Pilkington has now separated himself by a pretty nice margin in the 3 with the race lead. So it's still JT who has the 7th and final spot in his hands. White flag waving high in the sky for the Marshall Texan Ronald Pookin for his final trip down the back straightaway into turn number 3. For the final time, the former Longhorn Classic champion from Marshall, Texas, putting the Rick Sis Performance, Rotlos Liberato Hennigan chassis number 22, Ronald Pookin, your winner of B main number 2. Followed by Craig Oakes. Third will go to Michael Shirtliff. Rick Edgerton from Fort Smith will grab 4th. Lee Carver transfers. Brennan Perrier and grabbing the 7th and final transfer spot of the Mod Mafia, number 85. James Thompson. 503, good to see him back here at the line. Inside of row number 3, driving the Hadaway Towing Camco Elevators number 1R, it'll be Dustin Robinette, your 2-time reigning track champ. And the 5M out of Texarkana's Mike Morris. John Good Jr., your reigning Halloween Havoc champion, a 23 JR. Tim Strickland in 2. Can't forget about him, though, race fans. At a New Boston, Texas, grab the 7th and final transfer spot in that first race of the night in the factory stock. It'll be Skeet Amazon. He's in the Murphy & Son Timber F5. The lights go out in super stock heat race. Oh, my. Randy Darling hit a banana peel off of 4 down the front straightaway. Jason Miles going to lead lap number 1 in the 503. He'll send it off into 1 and 2. Strickland going to look for some bite and some dig off of 2. They'll smash the lap. It'll go door to door for the top spot down the back straightaway. Dustin Robinette trying to throw his hat into the ring and become a player to the center point of 3 and rolling off of 4 to the inside for the 2nd spot. I'll tell you, not a whole lot of moisture being thrown onto the racetrack after last night's action. And you gotta, hey, I like it. I like what Justin and the guys are trying to do with the track right now. We're gonna widen it out, and right now you're seeing door-to-door racing for the top spot. So your super stocks are looking to widen the track out a little bit. These wider Hoosier tires are gonna kick up some of that loose stuff from the top and kick up a higher groove on the outside lane of the racetrack. So looking to clean it off a little bit. That's kind of the point of pushing up the skidder tires. So we'll see what it does as until at the topless 100. But T-Mac, Tim McCready, and the real deal Don O'Neill start on the front row tonight. I'll let you know what's going on with that as soon as I know. As Jason Miles, your super stock heat race leader, taking the green flag off of 4. You can throw a blanket, throw a quilt over your top 3 right now. As here comes Skeet. Skeet's going to throw his hat into the ring and become a player into 3. They're going to go 2 by 2 off of 4. Side by side for the race lead down the front straightaway. Robinette to the inside for the race lead. Driving the Hadaway Towing F1 Powered Outlaw chassis number 27. That's one of the Outlaw chassis street stocks, or super stocks that Whitehead built. And here comes Skeet. Your top 2 competitors in this division and the 2 winningest drivers in this class over the last several years have risen to the occasion. As the saying goes, the cream has risen to the top. Cream rises to the top as now Robinette, your race leader over the F5 of Amazon. Strickland rides 3rd. Miles back to 4th. I believe this is only Miles' 2nd start here all year long. It'll be 2 laps to go. Show from Scotty Hesselbeck this time by. so he can start dead last here and still win this race. Keep your eyes on him. It'll be Eddie Brewer out of Atlanta, Texas. Lights are going to go out. Your judge, jury, and executioner, Scotty Hushelpeck, going to throw the green over the field. We're underway in ABC Auto Parts 4-cylinder action here at Timberline Speedway into 1. Ricky Wheat and the young lady Brittany Shireen on the front row in this one. And it's going to be Brittany Shireen who gets the whole shot, leads the herd into 3, and rolls off of 4 with the race lead of the Hitman Designs Triple X Rocket. Brittany Shireen had a great run going last night. May not even be in a B main tonight. Had she not tagged the outside retaining wall off of 4 with just a few laps to go last night in the second round of heats. Got crowded just a little bit to the center point of 3 and 4 by another competitor and kind of slid up into the retaining wall and ended her night a little bit early. So Miss Triple X Brittany Shireen continues to lead off of 2 down the back straightaway. This young lady has been very, very impressive in her short racing or young racing career. Side by side for the race lead into 1 and 2. Down the back straight of the 2x2 for the top spot. They may have pushed up the skidder tires a little bit. Who cares? The race is still good. Into 3 and 4 for the race lead. Ashton Owens going to slide up in front for the 3rd spot. So out front, minding his own business, is the former $10,000 winner of the King of the Hill factory stock race at the Greenwood Oval 2 years ago. Full throttle Marcus Cottle, your leader that last time by. Ricky Wheat, Rian Harris the top spot, battling there with Marcus Cottle, who phased the second. Ashton Owens throwing her hat into the ring. How about the young lady, the 18-year-old Ashton Owens, trying to work to the inside of the former $10,000 winner of the King of the Hill, beat 130 of the best factory stocks that you could find in the Arklatex region. One of the most improved drivers in 2017, going to head down the front boulevard into 1 and 2, door-to-door for a second. Way up top where Grandpa keeps the good bourbon is Kennington off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway. Higher than Willie Nelson on a cross-country tour with Snoop Dogg riding shotgun. Into 3, off of 4 with the race lead is Wheat out front. And Owens meticulously working her way. Grabs second by half of a nose in front of Full Throttle King Cottle. She has her crosshairs down to the back bumper now of Wheat for the race lead. Smooth and easy does it for the Redwater Texan Ashton Owens. She'll ride the number 5 to the low side right around the skidder tires. Smash it off of 4. Puts her foot through the floorboard into 1. Cottle trying to keep the momentum wound up on the outside. Ashton Owens. Can Ashton do it? Can she pull a rabbit out of the hat? She'll have 4 laps to get the job done this time by. Wheat still continues to lead. Ashton Owens from Redwater, Texas, riding in the 2nd spot. Full Throttle Marcus Cuddles in 3rd. Stephen Harris in a transfer spot, followed by Chris Perkins in 82. Those are your top 5 in the show right now, looking to go to the A main event. Two sticks in front of the face of your longtime race leader, Ricky Wheat, into 1. Ashton drives it in deep into 1 and 2. Can she do it? I think she can do it. Will she do it, though, Timberline Speedway race fans? I believe she might. She'll drive it deep back into turn number 3. All over the tail feather of your race leader, Ricky Wheat, for the top spot. Here comes Ashton. They're up on the wheel of these 4 cylinders tonight. Oh, it's going to go to the inside nearly for the race lead. Comes up a little bit short. Not for a lack of effort. Into 3 for the final time. Wake has a good entry to turn number 3. He rides off of turn number 4. Your winner will go to the 32 of Ricky Wheat. Owens will grab the second spot and transfer to the main event tonight. Full throttle Marcus Cottle. Perkins in 82, as well as Greenwood Louisiana Stephen Harris will go A main racing tonight. I look like Gordon from 94 with a mullet. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Outside, it'll be the Falk Arkansas Racer Crabtree in the 3. Do I really have a mullet? I know. It wasn't for a lack of effort. Oh my goodness, folks. They're 4 wide into turn number 1. Throw a quilt over them, Corey Clements. Off of 2, down the back straightaway. Oh my goodness, the M&M's car. They're spread out like a bag of M&M's in the 3. Or meet you at your local Waffle House down there. They're smothered and covered all over the racetrack off of 4. Ben Smiley out of Bossier City in 8. They're still 3 wide into 1. Oh my goodness. Smiley is the car that came to a halt up there. Connor Mewburn, the young man of the 36 out of Texarkana. Gary Stewart and the Gary's Gadgets 41GB out of Texarkana, Texas. Jerry Kirsten of the Wake Village is in the 11. Patrick Franks in 50 out of Texarkana. Toby Davis, the 9-year-old out of Rodessa. Tracy Corbin, L17. Big Boss Ross Malone from Powderly. Jacob Jones in the 27. Jerry Kirsten out front with a race lead, the Wake Village Texan. Leads Trent Crabtree. The 50 of Patrick Franks, Connor Mewburn, and the 36. The 41GB of Gary Stewart. And Rambo. So right now, Kirsten with the top spot. Gary Stewart in the 5th and final transfer spot right now. Danny Rambo needs to make 1 spot better to get into the show to go A-Main Racing tonight. Tough break for Patrick Franks. Looks like he broke some front end. Broke something on the front end. I don't know. I've never seen a car spark like that. I mean, I have, but I haven't seen a 4-cylinder do it. That was interesting. That takes out another player. Kirsten still leads into turn number 3. It'll be 2 to go this time. I'm sorry. Halfway. My mistake, race fans. Halfway this time by. I believe the Powderly Texan Big Boss Ross Malone is now in the 5th and final transfer spot in the number 18 machine. Does the 18 not have a... 13-year-old Connor Mewburn trying to make it a battle for the bridesmaids honors in this one. 13 years old, and he is not scared to mash on it. Third-generation racer, the son of Brian Mewburn, the two-time factory stock 50 champion. Connor Mewburn, sawing on the wheel. Yeah, the grandson of, you know what? I was just about to say that, Corey. The grandson of Cowboy Mewburn, and he's going to rope it to the outside in the 36. Says, hello, how you doing? And Crabtree says, not so good. I don't really care for 13-year-olds to blow my doors off like that. Down the back straightaway, the 13-year-old Connor Mewburn rises to the second spot on this one into turn number 3. He's heating up into turn number 3 off of 4. 2 laps to go, shown from judge, jury, and executioner Scotty Hushelpack. Kirsten still out front in command in this one with the race lead. Mewburn has the best car on the racetrack right now. It's very indicative for how he's been able to plant that car around the racetrack. And last time by, Mewburn had a 20.205 to Kirsten's 20.658, so he's a few tenths faster right now. But as I say, the sand of the hourglass has ran out for him. Tick-tock goes the race clock for the final time in the turn number 3. Mewburn was coming, and a big push off of 4, but your winner going to go to Jerry Kirsten in 11. Followed by the 13-year-old Connor Mewburn, who grabs second. Crabtree will grab third. Danny Rambo will grab the 4th spot. And the 5th and final transferee out of Powderly, Texas, goes the big boss, Ross Malone. It'll be the driver of the Hadaway Towing F1 powered outlaw chassis, Camco number 27 for Dustin Robinette. And a new Boston outside of the Murphy & Son Timber number F5. The Wiley veteran Skeet Amison inside of 2 out of Mod. It'll be Tim Strickland, and outside it'll be the 503 of Jason Miles. The lights are out. We're green for the first A-main of the night. In the one for the first time, they're going to go door to door. It's going to be Skeet Amison jumping out to the race lead off the exit of 2 down the back straight away. Skeet Amison, ice in his veins in the 3 on the opening lap. 15 laps the total distance in this one. John Good trying to the inside for 4th. Off of 4 down the front boulevard, Amison leads. Skeet trying to get back to WW Timber victory lane for the first time in over 2 months. Good. Going to loop the 23 junior. He straightens it back out though. No harm, no foul. We stay clean and green. So Robinette, going to be up to him to stalk the tire tracks of the F5 and run him down and dethrone Amison for the race lead. Jason Miles occupies the 3rd spot in 503. Strickland in 4th. Ashley Malone in the 8th and the 5th spot. So this time by, it'll be 3 laps scored. Amison's led every lap since the drop of the green flag. Skeet Amison rolls off a 4. Appears that they have hit the setup tonight. Lap traffic approaching up in front of your leader. Look out, Randy Darling way up top. No harm for the F5 to dispose of him. Robinette will now get by Randy Darling down the back straightaway. Robinette not able to pull within striking distance of the F5 for the race lead. So Skeet Amison has already made his way and got the 7th and final transfer spot in tonight's factory stock B main event in the first round. Will start 18th in tonight's factory main event. We'll look to win the super stock event going away. 7 laps to go this next time by. question is, with 5 to go, will lap traffic become a reality for Amundsen? As there are 3 different lanes wide there off the exit of 2. Amundsen's going to be fastly approaching that trio of lap traffic here in just a moment. Will it bottle him up and allow the 27 of Robinette to make some gains? John Good and Malone are door-to-door. They stay door-to-door. It's going to make the F5 have to make a decision, and that's going to break it up right there. The 23 JR lost some side bite there. But here's where it's going to get interesting. With 4 laps to go this time by, Skeet Amundsen going to have to work his way through this lap traffic, and you can already tell Robinette is picking up the slack. Oftentimes you want to be the driver sitting in second, and here comes Robinette. Robinette is the shark. He smells blood in the water right now. Off the dude down the back straightaway. Lap traffic definitely playing a factor in this one. Robinette going to go to the high side. Amundsen around the hub. He'll slide right up in front of the nose of the Texarkana racer, and that'll bottle up Robinette as well. Mike Morris. Woo, that's close. Close in lap traffic. This race will be won or lost in lap traffic tonight. Into turn number 3. John Good Jr., the 8 of Malone, up in front of the F5 of Amundsen through 3 and 4. There are 2 different lanes wide in front of him, and this is going to be interesting. The white flag waving this time. Can Dustin Robinette make a final lap pass with lap traffic all up in front of his front bumper off of 2 down the back straightaway? Amundsen smashes the loud pedal as he heads off into 3 and 4 for the final time. Robinette's there into 3. Robinette going to drive it in deep to his inside. Track race at the line. Your winner tonight from New Boston goes to Skeet Amundsen and F5. And the number 27 coming up and just a little bit short and grabs the bridesmaids honors in that one. Give him a hand, Timberline, as he makes his way down victory lane. Let's save some applause for when he actually climbs out of the car where he can hear you. Thought he might knock the fence down over there. And I don't care how many times this guy's seen victory lane. Like I said, he's no stranger to it, but it never gets old to climb out of the car and see all you race fans cheering him on. Said one of the most well-respected racers out of the Texarkana and Arklatex region in the history of our sport. And he's ready to climb out in the Murphy and Son Timber number F5 at a New Boston, Texas. Getting the head and neck restraint off. Here he comes, Timberline. Give it up for Skeet Amundsen. Get on top of it, Skeet. I love it. You're burnt out. Maybe you're burnt out because that race wore you out, but not burnt out as far as talent goes, man.
Appreciate it, Zach, man. I'm glad to be back here, guy.
Some pretty. I told the race fans kind of the story. The last couple of months, man, have been kind of rough for you as a racer behind the wheel of this machine in particular. Just some bad luck that's kind of been out of your hands.
Oh yeah, we kind of got messed around on the points deal. That's all right though. They can't keep us down very long.
Not long at all. I tell you what though, Skeet, that race got very interesting in lap traffic. How much was that on your mind, knowing that Robinette had to have been somewhere close behind? He did close the gap from about 6 car lengths you had on him down to 1 on the final lap.
It's the first time I've been on these tires. They've been on them a couple of weeks and missed the gear ratio a little bit. It's lugging the car off the turn. I mean, that just is what it is. It's the first time out with them. But it got the job done. That's all that matters.
Final thing, first time you ever drove that crewed off race car tonight for Lane Brashears, you got the 7th and final spot. You'll go A-main race into the factory stock. So you get the win here, you make the main event. You got to be pretty satisfied with how the night's going so far. How do you feel with the factory stock?
Oh, yeah. I was worried after last night. You know, we didn't get to practice Thursday night. We was behind the ball. We were making some big swing. Track was terrible. We didn't really know. Today we found a lot of problems, fixed them. It was better, but it's not the best. But we'll do what we can do with it.
Real quick, man, I'm going to give you an opportunity to thank anybody that helps you out.
Oh, man, I thank Kenny Murphy and Son Timber, all the fans. My sister, she helped me on race day a lot. And I couldn't do it without her.
Robin's awesome. Good to see you guys back in victory lane. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man, I appreciate all the fans really coming out and in this damn heat and supporting this deal. It's bad right now, but y'all hang with us.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you short, brother. Good to see you back here. No stranger to it, but he's back in WW Timber victory lane. Give it up for him, Timberline, and a New Boston, Skeet Amundsen. Your limited modified main events on the racetrack, 2,000 to win. On the pole tonight, factory stock winner this season from Genoa, Arkansas. It's Aaron Green. Chris United of the 12M, Rapid Roy. Aaron Roy out of Red Lick, Texas. Paris, Texas, race under the 5V. That'll be Michael Smith. Lights are out. 30 laps of distance for $2,000. into 1 for the first time. Who gets the whole shot is going to be important. Engel's going to power off a 2. We have trouble into 1 and 2. Stacking up a few. The caution will wave. Adam Roy and Ricky Engel's going to set the pace once again. The lights are going to go out. 30 laps of distance, 2,000 to win on the line. For the limited Modifies here at Timberline Speedway tonight for the Texas State Championship. And a 1. They're going to go over the race lead down the back straightaway. Engel's going to get the whole shot. The Longview Texan over the Red Lake Texan. Adam Roy going to work the hub side by side off of 4. They're literally door to door and 3 wide all the way through the tail of the field. Down the first straightaway 1. Roy drives it back deep to the inside of the 81. The racetrack is definitely widened out, and it's good. And here comes the freight train. Brandon Ball is eating, and he is digging to the front. He'll go to the inside of the 86 for 3rd. Comes up a little bit short. Keep your eyes on B75. He'll be a factor. Ball is coming. Ball was coming last night. Broke a tie rod. Broke a spindle and broke a ball joint. And both of his heats last night. Down the front straightaway, Engels still leads. Ricky Engels looking for the largest paying win in his limited modified career tonight. All for 2. Down the back straightaway comes Engels with the race lead by 3 car lengths over the 2 of Roy. Collins going to drive it in deep to his inside. The 2010 Spooky 50 winner drives to the outside of the Cleveland Texan. Collins there for the 3rd spot into 1. Brandon Ball is willing it. He's dealing it. 3 wide for 2nd off of 2 down the back straightaway. Brandon Ball is dealing it to the outside of B75. He's coming. There's still 3 wide. Still 3 wide off of 4. Adam Roy giving pressure to the B75. He clears him. Ball is coming to the front. IRP race cars. 1, 2, 3 right now on the speed plan. Down the back straightaway, Brandon Ball is absolutely laying it down. He's got the wood. Last time by, a 17.843 for Brandon Ball, an 18. And here he comes for the race lead. Side by side off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway. They'll both smash the left pedal. 81 and B75 for the top spot. Ricky Engels, the Wiley veteran, out of Longview, Texas. And the 29-year-old off of 4 has the race lead. Adversity being faced this weekend for the driver formerly out of Farmerville, Louisiana, located in northeast Louisiana. You know where Lake Darbone is, where he comes from. Now living out of Texarkana. He may throw the keys on the counter and check out on them now. Ball is gone with the win. Undoubtedly hooked up is Brandon Ball. Last night, you could definitely see it as well. But caught some bad luck battling up front for the race lead. Broke a spindle, like I said, and broke a ball joint in the second race. But he'll send it off into 1 and 2 with the race lead in B75. Caution away for the first time. Tough break for
Put it together himself, got a picture connects. Never asking for someone's help, to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote. His will is be.
So how about Brandon Ball last night? Broke a spindle, broke a ball joint in both of his heats. After being a factor, he storms to the outside of the Longview Texan Engels and takes the top spot, and we are back underway. Side by side for 3rd. Down the back straightaway, Justin Collins, the 91 of the Marshall Texan, Craig Oaks. Collins knows the head with the advantage in the 3. Oaks gives him a little shot in the tail tank there off of 4. Down the front boulevard, we go back into turn number 1. Next this time by, it'll be 16 laps to go for Brandon Ball out of Farmerville, Louisiana. Trying to get one of the largest paying wins in his career. Said earlier, won the 2010 Spooky 50 at Dennis on the track of the Chatham Raceway in Chatham, Louisiana. He has a sizable advantage over Adam Roy, who rides in second. The Deuce occupies the Deuce position. The Big Tick chassis number 86 out of Cleveland, Justin Collins still third. Into one, Ingles is fourth out of Longview in 81. Oaks back to the fifth spot. Tupper having a good run. Oh, and Collins over the top of turn two. Tough break for Justin Collins. He was feeling like Phil and thought it may have been coming in the air tonight for the Cleveland Texan. And he calls it quits. Tough break for Collins. He pulls it to the infield. Brandon Ball is putting an absolute whooping, and he's throwing a clinic down on the Timberline Speedway racing surface tonight. Some revenge, if you will. After it could have been the racetrack that bit him last night, but it hasn't hurt him, obviously, for tonight when it matters the most. Undoubtedly has faced his share of adversity throughout the weekend's program to this point, but has absolutely thrown the keys on the counter, and he is checking out. Here's where it could get interesting, just like it did for Skeet Amison and Dustin Robinette. Robinette was able to close in on Amison. Well, lap traffic become enough of a reality for Adam Roy to move in and pounce and try to take this top spot away with 10 laps to go. Lap traffic. There are two different lanes wide in front of Ball, but he is way up top. Rolling still off of 4. He's found a patch right up there on the cushion through 3 and 4. Rides a little bit under the cushion in 1 and 2, but he's found the smoothest way around. Definitely learned something from last night. Will just now work to the back deck lid of these cars that he's looking to approach to put down a lap. He'll swing to the outside and put Murphy down. Or Mewburn, sorry. Mewburn gets disposed of. Laps to go. Ball has been able to work his way meticulously through lap traffic. Good to see Ricky Killer back in action in that 4K. As Ball just disposed of him, the next car will be the 42 of Rogers. But he's quite a ways up front. Don't believe Ball will have a chance to get there. I think Adam Roy is hoping for a caution at this point. He is pinned behind lap traffic as Ball's been able to work his way through him. Next time by, it'll be 2 laps to go. 2.5 laps to go when he meets the midpoint of the back straightaway, and he will now. 2 sticks will be coming down in front of the face of the Farmerville Freight Train, Brandon Ball. And your RaceOnTexas.com limited modified A main event. Into 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, 1.5 laps to go for Ball. He has absolutely annihilated the competition tonight from his 8th starting position. A Golden State Warriors-like performance on the red dirt here in Corley. Down the back straightaway for the final time. RaceOnTexas.com limited modified main event finale winner, your Texas State champion off of 4. It'll be the Farmerville Freight Train Brandon Ball in B75. Receiving a face full of checkered flag. Second, we'll go to the Deuce of Adam Roy. Third, we're going to Ricky Ingles. Regos grabs a strong fourth. It's trying to get out, and you have them blocked in. I like to say that the term adversity is very overused in all forms of sports, football particularly, but this guy definitely faced some of that this weekend. If you were here last night, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He was battling up front for the race lead early in round one and broke a left front spindle and ended up breaking a left front ball joint in round two. So starting 8th tonight, takes him no time to get to the top spot and checking out through the keys on the counter. And he was gone. Getting ready to climb out of the car for the 9th time in his career here in Corley, Texas. I call him the Farmerville Freight Train, because formerly out of Northeast Louisiana, now residing out of Texarkana. That's it, folks. Give him a big round of applause. Your Texas State Champion, Brandon Ball, the Farmerville Freight Train at B75. Well, Brandon, I just told the fans, you know, the word adversity is often overused in this sport, but last night, like I told them, breaking a spindle on the left front, battling for the race lead, and then breaking a left front ball joint, battling again for the lead, derailed you last night, but did not derail the freight train tonight as you roll from 8th to the top spot, man. This car was absolutely hooked up.
Yeah, it was. Last night we had a bunch of bad luck, a bunch of part failures and all. I know the track was a little rough last night, but that's how I love it. I like getting up there and just hanging it wide open and letting her eat.
Ever worried about that coming through lap traffic? Because this one stayed pretty much green throughout the entirety.
Yeah, we caught them pretty quick there at the first and caught a break. And then there at the end, we started catching, which they was kind of spread out there a little bit. So it wasn't just too bad.
I know you've won some pretty big races in your career, but this one up there with the highest paying one?
Yeah. In fact, my first feature win ever was a 4,000 to win. So it's
spooky.
It's gonna be tough to beat that, but I think I'm gonna fit some park this thing and wait till the 10,000 in Waco and try to look over there.
I'll be there, and I can't wait for it. Yeah, you know what? You took the word. That was a segue into my next question. That coming up just in a couple of weeks. I was gonna say this has got to give you a major shot of confidence as you head into that big event.
Yeah, it does. I kind of got down on myself. Hadn't been running just real good here lately, and I've took the time to get everything back right. And it's really running good right now.
I'll give you an opportunity to thank everybody that helps you out on this machine.
I want to thank my wife, Tiffany. Thank Bubba Green Towing for, allowing me to come do this. AB Performance, my dad, he's with my nephew tonight running. Logan, he's helped me a bunch on this car, trying to teach him the right things to do. And Chuck with Best Engines, man, that's a power plant underneath that hood, I can tell you that. Team 5, DuPont Racing Shocks, Pro 1 transmission, Race on Texas. I seems like I forget that every time, but I always go home, watch the races, every week. Bulletproof tees. Get to add me another sticker up there this week. So
Old Scott Swanner.
That's it.
Congratulations, your first ever Texas State Championship and another big crown jewel victory for you, Brandon. You definitely earned it tonight from 8th.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, the Farmerville Freight Train, Brandon Ball and Victor Lane here at Timberline Speedway. You're the winner. What's your name, brother?
Jeff Rice. That's my boy that drives it.
Okay, it's your boy that drives it. Pro Mod main event's going green, 1,000 to win. He got it. He takes over 150 bones with him back to Vivian, Louisiana tonight. Doug Vick Jr. and the 60 of Mark Barnes getting bottled up early in this one. As look out, Bradley Barnes. Barnes nearly lost the handle on the 30, and Bubba Vines nearly lose the handle there in the 11 as your race leader. Here comes the big show, Eric Norris. Rolling to the top spot of the 44. Eric Norris up to second. So Bubba Vines, your early race leader out of Bethany, Louisiana in the 11. Eric Norris looking to the inside of Benton, Louisiana's Bradley Barnes for the bridesmaids in this one. course, race fans, if you know anybody, well, we're going back green. I'll tell you that in a minute. Back underway in your Pro Mod main event. Bubba Vines trying to get his first win of the year. Here comes Bradley Barnes to the inside. Vic Jr.'s rebounded and rebounded well. Faded all the way back to 8th early in the going of this race, and he's back to 3rd in car 4, and the caution is back out. It's Beasley again at the bottom of 1 and 2. 80s behind the wheel of these cars. They're fun to watch. So 20 laps here for the Pro Mods. This will be followed up 30 laps for the Factory A main coming up next, and then your 4-cylinder Spooky 25. We're back underway. Bubba Vines leads the herd off of 2. Oh, and around goes Cornbread. Bill Teague. Bradley Barnes jumping out to the race lead ahead of the 11 of Vines. And here comes Vic Jr. out of Vivian. Louisiana racers have all risen to the top here. Your top 6 all residing out of Vic Jr. trying to run down the Benton racer Bradley Barnes for the race lead. Earlier at the drop of the green flag of this race, Vic fell all the way to 8th. A few of these cautions have allowed himself to work his way back into the mix, and he'll give all kinds of pressure up front for the race lead to the 30 of Bradley Barnes. How long will Bradley be able to hold on? Vic Jr. going to go to the inside and thread the needle for the top spot. Barnes going to go to his outside. Through 3 and 4. Vic Jr. around the hub takes the race lead in 4V. The smoke doesn't appear to be slowing down Barnes any as he's got Pro Mod A main dropping the hammer. We're back underway. Doug Vic Jr. taking over the race lead. Vic Jr. leads the herd into 1 and 2. Barnes still rides in 2nd. Bauckham in the 25 got bottled up off the exit of 2. Doug Vic Jr. Your race leader into 1. Vic will start 5th tonight in your factory stock main event. He'll be a factor in that one as well. Could he sweep tonight's program? A few weeks ago with 7,000 on the line for the factory stocks. Drove his way from 13th to 2nd behind the Marshall Missile Derek Grigsby in the 7,000 win finale. And he won the Pro Mod main event that night, so a 1st and a 2nd. Could he do double duty and pick up $4 grand total tonight? Barnes still fending off Mike Morris there for the 2nd spot. Vines in a battle with the 4th. Surrepta, Louisiana's Jeffrey Bechet. Bechet putting the heat all over the 11 of Vines there for the 4th spot. Off of 4 down the front straightaway. Barnes still spraying his competitors behind him with smoke. Come on, Mark, get it refired, get it refired. Trying to see if the Pro Mods can knock down this final 5 laps caution free. How about it, Marcus? Do a 360. Tough break for Bubba Vines. He's off the pace in 11. The best in the Louisiana racer, Bubba Vines, is going to have to limp the number 11 home if they're starting on the pole tonight. It'll be 3 laps to go. This time by for car number 4 out of Vivian, Louisiana, Doug Vick Jr. Interestingly enough, Vic Jr. is going to have to hop directly out of this car and hop right into the factory stock. He's got to be a well-oiled machine and be hydrated to run 50 consecutive laps. 2 to go. And I think maybe the game plan that I had may be working. Or may have been true, rather. But off of 4, he'll receive a face full of white flag, this time by out of Vivian, Louisiana, Doug Vick Jr. A great run tonight for Benton's Bradley Barnes, who's held on to 2nd. Morris in 3rd. Bechet from Sarepta. But your Texas State Championship winner, the former Cajun Classic winner, goes to Doug Vick Jr. from Vivian, Louisiana in 4V. 2nd goes to Bradley Barnes. Likely had to make this one pretty quick because he's going to have to hop out of this car and hop right into his factory stock where he starts inside of row number 3 tonight. Vic Jr. won 15 Pro Mod races back in 2015. He's won 6 of them this year. Hey man, I brought you a water because I didn't know if anybody else would, because you got to have to run another 30 laps here. It's mine, but you don't have to pay me back. Getting ready to climb out from Vivian, Louisiana. Give it up for him, folks. Doug Vick Jr. in 4. Well, Doug, you're about to have to run another 30. You start 5th in the factory stock. Sorry. Tonight, the Pro Mod was good on that opening lap, though, man. You fell all the way back to 8th. You had to work your way back up to the front, but those late race cautions may not really pay attention to it, or all the fans may not notice it because you're out front for the most part of that race, but early going, you did fall all the way back to 8th.
Yeah, I messed up pretty good on my own there. I hope I don't do that in the next one.
What is it about this Pro Mod that you've kind of found a liking to? You've driven multiple of these cars to victory lane. It seems like you found a liking in all of them. I
just like them. You have to tiptoe them. You don't really run them that hard. You have to feel for everything, and I've liked every one I've had.
We talked about how good the factory stock's been working as of late. I just told the fans at Boot Hill a couple of weeks ago, you won in the Pro Mod. You got 2nd to Derek Grigsby in the 7,000 win finale. Could tonight be the night you win the Pro Mod and maybe get up there and challenge and get this win for the Texas State Championship and sweep it?
I hope so. The track's looking pretty good for it.
Yeah. No pressure. But what's something that you can take to the test and that you learned in this car that you can put into the factory stock, both being on the asphalt pull-off tire? What can you learn?
It's pretty good right around the bottom.
I hear you. Anybody you want to thank, Doug?
I got to thank everybody that helps me on it. My dad, my brother, Big Show, Joe, Alan, Randy, Cameron. I've got a lot of help, and I got to thank them all.
Congratulations to you, man.
Thank you.
Doug Vick Jr. out of Vivian, Louisiana. Give him another hand, Timberline Speedway. Number 32A, the 007, that'll be Dustin Yacht. The 13 is Tim Strickland, the 5F. It'll be three-wheel Neil Kemp, your $5,000 winner to the factory stock 50. 30 lasts for $3,000 to settle the score. It's Abernathy on the front row with the 19-year-old. Hot in Louisiana's Bubba McEachern on the outside. We're green and ready to go for 30 laps for $3 grand. Here we go. Abernathy gonna get the whole shot into 1 and 2. The 25 of McEachern got a little sideways, lost some side bite off the exit. Doesn't hurt him. He holds on to 2nd and 3 for the first time. Off of 4, looking to lead lap 1. Drifting up and opening up the door for the 25. Everybody seems to get through off of 4 unscathed. The first lap will be scored. The original restart will not be needed in this one. Down the back straightaway. The 24 best factory stock drivers you can find here for the Texas State Championship. McEachern riding all over the back deck lid of the 4 for the race lead. Here comes Woodruff. Doug Vick Jr. gonna roll to 3rd. He'll go to the inside of the 2 of Woodruff for the 3rd spot. So Vick Jr., who just hopped out of his Pro Mod, gonna ride up the 3rd in car number 4. They're gonna still go side by side. And the rear trunk lid. The rear trunk lid getting trampled. Mount Ada, Arkansas's Chad Abernathy on the loud pedal. We're backing away the pair of Louisiana aces in row 2. Oh my goodness. Sean Graham just ramped the front end of the 83 celebration, rather, for the driver of car 4 from Arkansas, if he can get this victory. But you heard what McEachern said earlier. He kind of had a game plan. He didn't mind drawing the 2. Count out guys like Ronald Pilkin. Don't count out Beckett in the 0. And the first annual factory stock 50, Jonathan Beckett started 24th and he drove his way to 4th. Don't count out that white number 0. Don't count out the yellow 22. Don't count on any of them. 27 to go. We're backing our way. Back down the front boulevard into 1. McEachern slides up in front of Doug Vick Jr. for the 2nd spot. They're side by side for 3rd off of 2 down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Kent Hollingsworth to the inside of the 22 up in front. It's Beckett. They're two lanes wide up in front with the 4 of Vick Jr. to the 2 of Woodruff. McEachern now all over the bumper of the 4 of Mount Ada, Arkansas's Abernathy for the race lead. This whole field is nose to tail all the way to the tail. McEachern got all to the back bumper that time. Got a little sideways there off the exit of corner number 4 down the front boulevard. Abernathy setting the pace, leading the herd into turn number 3. Abernathy stuck and planted good off the exit of 4 in that outlaw race car. 4 different chassis. Oh, Beckett got loose there off of 4. And look at Boatman. Boatman capitalizes, got the Walmart special, several spots for the price of 1. Your top 4 cars have now separated themselves from the rest of the competitors by about 5-6 car lengths. Your top 4, nose to tail off of 4. Bubba McEachern trying to fire a bullet into 1. No blanks for 25 yet to this point. Has not been able to do anything with the 4. He'll try to step to the outside, but as soon as he does that, he may open up the door for Vick Jr. to go to his inside. He's got to play smart here. Still many a laps to go as McEachern going to try to the inside. He has to get on the brakes, though, show some respect to the 4 car. Doesn't want to get his nose chopped off. Vick Jr. going to find something to the outside of McEachern now. Down the back straight with a side-by-side for the 2nd. Into turn number 3. Doug Vick Jr. may find that lane right to the outside. That's where Neil Kemp found it in the 5,000 factory stock 50. Off of 4, Vick Jr. going to go to the outside for the race lead. Look at Doug Vick Jr. go. The 2011 Cajun Classic champion and just won the Pro Mod race is going to find the lane to the outside of the 4 of Abernathy and take the race lead. A pair of 4 cars, door for the race lead. Into 3 and 4, rolling off the 4, it's car 4, a pair of 4s. And it's Vivian, Louisiana's Doug Vick Jr. who takes over the top spot. The only car, I believe, with a passenger running shotgun tonight. He's got his girl, Stormy, in there directing traffic. McEachern back to 3rd. Boatman to 4th. Woodruff to his outside. Pilkington throws his hat into the ring, becomes a player here. Here comes Abernathy back into the mix. May come down to the pair of 4 cars to settle the score. But don't count out the 19-year-old Bubba McEachern. It'll be 18 laps to go this time by at the flag stand. Many laps to get the job done. Vick Jr. felt confident, sounded confident in his post-race Pro Mod interview just a few moments ago. And he has risen to the occasion and driven his way to the top spot. Said it several times tonight. I mean, how impressive is that for what he did at Boot Hill a few weeks ago, winning the Pro Mod A and second to Derek Grigsby in the 7,000 win main event tonight. He has an opportunity to sweep the night. A push by McEachern opens up the door for the 83 to go by, as well as Pilkington. We'll have to re-smash the loud pedal back into 1 and try to fight back to the outside of the blue number 83 of Boatman. Boatman and the 22 of Pilkington out of Marshall will dispose of the 25. And McEachern is rolled back to 5th. Still not over though, plenty of laps. It'll be 15 to go this time. Last time by lap time for Doug Vick Jr. A 19.151 and a 19.232 for Abernathy. The quickest car on the racetrack was Anthony Boatman with a 19.017 who rides in 3rd. A 19.017 for Boatman. He is the fastest car on the track right now. Still the fastest. His last time by at the flag stand, a 19.180 for Doug Vick Jr., a 19.256 for Abernathy, and a 19.002 for Boatman. He's got the 4 car of Mount Ada, Arkansas's Chad Abernathy. They get a big birthday victory tonight. How about we find out? Here we go. Kind of a wild restart. McEachern trying to make it 3 wide there on the restart. Oh, and around goes Beckett into 1 and 2. And Dean Rasco had nowhere to go. The caution immediately. Vick Jr. continues to lead. Here's the words that he said in Victor Lane that may do it. He said, I hope so. The track's looking good for it. Verbatim. And he has shown right now that he is definitely liking these track conditions. He has rolled his way up to the top spot and has held on since grabbing the lead. Last time by, though, he's a few tenths slower. Pilkington has worked his way to 3rd now. And Pilkington, the 2nd fastest car on the racetrack that last lap. Abernathy now the quickest with a 19.129 that last time by. Now back being the quickest car is your race leader, Doug Vick Jr. That last lap, a 19.328. McEachern actually with a 19.119 back in the 5th spot, but tick-tock goes the race clock. Oh boy, it's about to get interesting. The former Cajun Classic champions, Ronald Pilkington out of Marshall, Texas, is going to roll the 2nd. It's about to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Off a 2, down the back straightaway. Ronald Pilkington in that Rick Sisk Performance, Hennigan Motorsports chassis. Number 22, off a 4, up to the bridesmaids honors in this one, as Vick Jr. still continues to lead. How about as the caution comes back out for Craig Oaks out of Martin, who wins $3,000 tonight for the Texas State Championship. Doug Vick Jr. trying to get the biggest win of his factory stock career since winning the Cajun Classic in 2011. He's on the loud pedal. We're backing away, Pilkington, the fly in the ointment. Here we go. All over the tire tracks of the 4. Here comes Pilkington. Opening up the door. Abernathy slipped up out of the groove. McEachern's back into the mix. McEachern going to go back to 4th. And door-to-door for the race lead. Through 3, off of 4. Pilkington gets a little sideways off of 4, trying to find a lane to the inside of the 4 for the race lead. A little bit of beating and banging there at the tail. Pilkington trying to find something right around the lowest point of the racetrack right now. Down the back straightaway, back into turn number 3. It'll be 6 laps to go this time by. Vick Jr. has got it way up in the middle, opening up the door for the 22. But the thing is, the 4 car is able to find more momentum off the turns as he puts that Jeff Bates Performance power plant to the test. Down the back straightaway, Rick Sis Performance underneath the hood for the 22, providing the power for Pilkington. Boatman with the Jeff Bates power plant underneath the hood of that 83 as well. Down the front boulevard we go. Here comes Rollo. We saw a final lap pass, a final corner pass, and the final lap of this year's 5,000 win factory stock 50. And this time by race fans, it'll be 4 laps to go for car 4. Oh, and a shot in the shorts off of 4. Pilkington is about to knock the back door off the 4 car. A term I used to say quite a bit. He's knocking on the back door like a trick-or-treater with a sweet tooth here a few months before Halloween. But Vick Jr. slams the door shut once again. He says, "Get out of my house." Back into 1 and 2. Pilkington all over him. He cannot quite thread the needle. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by. It's heating up. 2 to go this time by at the flag stand. You can feel it. The tension is rising. It'll be 1.5 laps to go when they meet the midpoint of the back straightaway. Pilkington is all over Doug Vick Jr. for the race lead. Off the exit of 2, down the back straightaway, 1.5 laps to go now. It'll be the white flag coming out this time by the Louisiana racer out of Vivian, Louisiana, trying to hold off the Marshall Texan Ronald Pilkington for the race lead. He gives him another shot in the shorts, and around goes the 83 of Boatman. No. I can't speak on behalf of that driver, but I promise you it was not intentional. They're just racing hard with a few to go. Who's it going to be, fans? Louisiana's Doug Vick Jr. out front trying to hold off Marshall Texan to the 22 of Pilkington. And here comes Mount Ada, Arkansas's Chad Abernathy back into the mix. He says, "I'm not over yet for our birthday celebration for $3,000 tonight." Back into 1 under the green-white checker to restart. Down the back straightaway. Into 3. Pilkington has kept the 4 of Doug Vick Jr. honest, and Vick Jr. is able to pinch him down. Some contact there, knocking the back bumper off. The white flag waves. 1 more trip around the speed plant here at Billy and Kim White's speed plant. For 3,000, and Pilkington is to the inside for the race lead. Pilkington all the way there, but Vick Jr. finds that side bite and the momentum from that outside line to his advantage in the 3 for the final time into the 3 and 4. Off of 4, drag racing to the line. Your $3,000 winner, Texas State champion from Vivian, Louisiana, goes to Doug Vick Jr. sweeping the night here at Timberline Speedway. How? And no better than first, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, like I've said all night, when these drivers, whoever may have been in victory lane, I'd ask you to hold your applause for them. But when this guy makes it to victory lane, my goodness, he deserves all you guys' applause after just winning the Pro Mod race and hopping out of that car and running 50 straight laps around the Timberline Speedway and hitting his marks, coming from 5th to get this win and a huge victory. As I said, race fans, please give this driver a big round of applause when he climbs out of the car. He deserves it. He even had a passenger riding shotgun with him tonight. First, give it up for Stormy riding shotgun, directing traffic out here tonight. So like I said a few weeks ago, a first and a second of the King of the Hill. Your 3,000 Texas State champion. Give it up for Vivian, Louisiana's Doug Vick Jr. in 4. How about it, Doug? I asked you directly after the Pro Mod win if you could get the job done tonight, and you said the track was looking good for it, man, and you worked your way from 5th to get up to the race lead, and Rollo gave you a few shot in the shorts there the last several laps. Tell me what you were thinking prior to that last caution.
Oh, I didn't like seeing that. I was hoping I could hold on to the end.
I wasn't sure you wanted to see that one. What, man, how much does this mean to you? I'll just jump right to it, man. How much does this mean to you? I mean, the Pro Mod's been flawless. You've been working hard to get your factory stock program back on top, man. This thing has been on kill here lately, and you cashed in tonight.
It means a lot. I got to thank my brother for building this car. He worked on it for about a year and a half before we got it finished, and I believe it was worth it.
You've swept Knights and Vivian before and multiple classes, but the first time you swept at a different racetrack over here in Corley, this is your first win here, too. Your first 2 wins ever here tonight, and you sweep tonight. How about that?
I've never won a race here before.
Wow, that's pretty special, man. Anything else? Anything on your mind in particular right now?
I just got to thank everybody that helped me. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Tell us about all those folks that help you.
Like I said, my dad, my brother, Big Show, Joe, Randy, Allen, Cameron, Chad. I have a lot of help.
You know, I told the fans, I said, you were the only guy that had a passenger riding with you. You've always had the passenger riding with you. Do you compensate for that in your car? I mean, for how it rolls over in the corners? I mean, she probably helps you with how the car gets set up, right?
I believe it drives better with her in there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that was impressive for what he did. Was that not impressive? Timberline Speedway, back-to-back 50 straight laps. How about it? Great job to you, Doug. Well-earned, well-overdue victory. Can't ask for any more out of what you did here tonight for yourself, man.
Thank you.
Give it up for folks from Vivian, Louisiana, the former Cajun Classic winner, now a Texas State champion for $3,000. Doug Vick Jr. from Vivian gets the job done. Hey, let me get a picture. I messed up. Stormy, get in there. Man, sometimes I wish I knew what I was going to say, but I don't, you know. I get sidetracked.
They're working on that left rear on. I was thinking it wasn't going to make it to the end. The brakes went to the floor with about 5 to go. I told him, I said, y'all watch 20, 22 and 4.
I wish you would have told me that. Hey, hold on, Doug. Before you go, so there's only one more race. What did you just tell him? What about the brakes?
I lost them with about 5 to go.
Brakes are to the floor. You had no brakes.
To the floor.
Wow. And to know Ronald was knocking your back door off, I mean, goodness.
It was hard not to mess up with no brakes.
One thing is, though, you're able to keep that momentum on the outside line. You just had your car just a tick higher. I think that was able to keep your drive off a little bit better than his.
Carries the speed off a little better.
Hey, great job again, man.
Thank you.
Give it up for him once again, ladies and gentlemen, of Vivian, Louisiana. Doug Vick Jr. gets the job done here at the Corley Oval. First 2 ever wins here. Pretty impressive.
They drew a number 4.
Yeah.
And he won $4,000.
Yeah.
And he's number 4.
Yeah.
So, coincidence, huh?
He didn't draw the 4 because he started 5th.
Oh, well, you drew a 5? No, he drew a 4.
I saw the 5th and this one drew a 4 in the promo.
Yeah, he drew a 4.
Oh, you got too many race cars.
So $4,000 total dollars for car number 4.
Yeah, bring him on out here.
So pretty cool, though, that 3 different states were up there battling for the win. Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Like I said, after 9 Cajun Classics,
I was gonna give him one, baby.
I don't care what I redraw. Starting to the outside of the C12, Wendy Cathy out of Texarkana. It'll be the X6 of Andrew Rossum alongside Logan Griffin, Ricky Wheaton 32R, Jerry Kirsten in the 11. The lights are out. Ashton Owens in the 5. Here we go. $775 a win. $775 to win for the ABC Auto Parts 4 cylinders. There are already 3 trying to go 4 wide off the exit of 2 down the back straightaway. Chris Maurer out of DeQueen, Arkansas, already trying to roll to the front. Door-to-door for the race lead off of 4. Mason Brown to the inside for the race lead. A small piece of debris falling off of one of those guys. Look at that, 4 wide off the exit of 2. Jones, the 36, the 13-year-old Connor Mubert. They are going at it. There's still 3 and 4 different lanes wide. Oh, and around goes the 13, Jaya Griffin. He saves it. What a save. Holy smokes. What a save. Hey, that kid's only 13 too. Look at this. They're 4-5 wide over there. Off of 4, out front. It's Brandon Brown. Cole Derrick. Cole Derrick's got 2 first names, so you know he's got game. Off of 4, Cole Derrick. Stalking the tire tracks of the 32. Into 1, Brandon Brown. Feels the pressure. Here comes Derrick. To the inside for the race lead. Off the exit of 2, down the back straightaway. Momentum going to carry the blue number 1G to the inside for the top spot. They're going to go door to door. Brandon Brown going to try to cut him off. They'll make contact in the center point of 3 and 4. Contact. You can expect that out of these 4 cylinders. Back into turn number 1, Derrick and Brown. Watch this. Brown's about to return the favor. He just ran out of... Ooh, no, he didn't. I was almost certain that Brandon Brown was about to uproot him into 1 and 2. But he elected to not do what Dale Earnhardt would have done to Terry Labonte at Bristol. Oh, and there he did it! Oh, my goodness. A door slam, if you will. Oh, he'll feel that one next Tuesday. And here comes the... Daniel Jones in the 3, and we got all kinds of problems. ABC Uniforms 4-cylinder A-main is back underway off of 4. Cole Derrick still out front with the lead. Will Brandon Brown get back to him and rattle his cage? Here comes Maurer out of DeQueen, Arkansas. The Batesville, Arkansas racer Patrick Franks is slow down the back straightaway in the 50. He'll try to get out of harm's way. Come on, Patrick, pull it down to the infield. There we go. Just making sure everybody got around him. Great battle. Look at the young 13-year-old Connor Mewborn. Connor Mewborn to the outside, trying to make it 3 wide. Brown slammed the door shut on him. Sorry, that's Rossum. My mistake, folks. But Connor is right there. That's Connor's old car right in front of him. So Connor's on the back bumper of his old car, driven by Andrew Rossum tonight. Off of 4. They're 3 wide off at 4 momentarily. Down the front straightaway. Threading the needle is Rossum into 1. He's got that thing rolling on the outside. The Cole Derrick, he's the one rolling out front like a yo-yo with no string. Off of 4, the 1G still leads. Looking to put a cap on a perfect weekend. Cole Derrick has won every race that he has competed in so far this weekend. And it'll look to cap it off with 775 reasons. The Batesville, Arkansas racer trying to live up to the moniker of Wendell Wallace will be a Batesville bullet here in Corley tonight as he has driven his way to second around Brandon Brown. Jesse Brooks feeling it now in 30P. I think Brooks might have something for Cole Derrick as we continue to click off the laps. It'll be 13 laps to go this time by for Cole Derrick in 1G. But the Batesville racer in the 30 is running him down. The question is, will we stay green long enough for Derrick to approach lap traffic? I'm not sure even then if it's thick enough for him to get bottled up by it. It looks like Rambo's going to come to a stop, maybe at the top of 1 and 2. I hope not. There's your caution. Definitely made his presence felt here this weekend at the Corley Oval. The lights are out. Cole Derrick still with the race lead. Brandon Brown, Chris Maurer, Andrew Rossum, Connor Mewborn, Logan Griffin, Dalton Vines, Trent Crabtree. We're back on our way. Heading back off into 1 and 2. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, with still 8 laps to go. Some high attrition in this one. Spooky 25 looking to get the final 8 in, and Maurer got a good restart. He'll try to put the heat on the 1G of Derek for the race lead. Here comes Chris Maurer to the inside for the top spot. They're going to go door-to-door for the race lead, a pair of 1s. 1G and 1. Off a 2 down the back straightaway, and here comes Mewburn, and here comes Rossum. Into 3. The 13-year-old Connor Mewborn. Back and forth, trying to hunt down his good friend in his former car. But Maurer's making it interesting. But Rossum and Mewburn trying to roll up to the front like a yo-yo with no string. They're going to use the outside line to their advantage. You can see the way Cole Derrick's able to drive way up top on the entrance of 3 and kind of dime it off the corner and keep his momentum up down the front straightaway. That's the separation right now. And here comes that duo, trying to reel in the second spot. Mewburn got back on the low side of the racetrack and allowed Rossum to separate himself by a car length and a half or 2. Off of 4 down the front straightaway, it's 5 to go. Cole Derrick separating himself by about 6 to 7 car lengths again on this restart. Down the back straightaway, approaching the midpoint into turn number 3. Watch the way Derrick exits the corner after getting that high side momentum. That's the separation right there. All these other guys are rolling that outside pretty good as well, but just not quite as good as the 1G. That last lap by Cole Derrick with a 20.237 lap time, 66.711 miles per hour. Chris Maurer in second with a 20.668 versus Derrick's 20.237. A whole mile per hour faster than Maurer, who rides second. And this time by at the flag stand, a 20.293 and a 20.772 for Maurer. So it's undoubtable right now. The quickest car is Cole Derrick out front with the race lead. Checkers out. Chris Maurer, your Texas State champion here at Timberline Speedway. I'm sorry, Cole Derrick. Woo. I might have to go back and edit that, ain't I? Uh-oh. So once again, we'll get a word with your winner in the 1G of Cole Derrick, your Texas State champion here for the ABC Auto Parts 4 Cylinders. And the Spooky 25 champ had a perfect weekend. Won both of his heats last night and wins the A-main going away. Like I told him last night, well, I actually didn't tell him yet. Came with a little saying for Cole Derrick. I said he's got 2 first names, so you know he's got game.
That man, he's fast, man. I don't know what to say. That was a good race.
Man, Jesse Brooks really tried to put the heat on him there.
Yeah, Jesse had a fast car all the way from Batesville, Arkansas. I hate to see him go out like that. I think him and Cole could have had a good race.
I believe so. I'll talk to him about it. Climbing out your Texas State champion, your Spooky 25 winner. Give it up for Cole Derrick. Cole, I've been saying it all weekend long. You had a perfect weekend. You're batting 1,000, man. 2 heat race wins last night. You sweep Friday night's opening night, and you nearly lead every lap tonight, man. Once you got out front with the race leads, talk about that early battle there with Jesse Brooks from Batesville, Arkansas. Looks like he didn't travel away to Batesville to finish second. He kind of showed you his nose down there on the bottom. I was thinking maybe he was starting to get in your head a little bit where you change up your line. Man, I'm telling you, you may have not seen it in your peripheral, but he came about this close. Couldn't have fit a hand between his quarter panel and his left front whenever he broke. I thought it was about to wipe both of you guys out.
Yeah, I had fun. I'm wore out.
Yeah, you're wore out, man. You had a perfect line around the outside of that racetrack. About how tiring was that, though, to hustle this car around there?
You just got to hold on and match it to the floor and hold on, man. Turn it every now and then.
You like to see those cautions there late in the going, kind of let you cool off a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't hurt nothing, that's for sure.
And I said this earlier. I don't know how you take this, but you've been perfect all weekend. I said this guy's got 2 first names, so you know he's got some game.
I got 3 first names, actually.
What's your middle name?
Cole.
Cole?
Thomas Cole.
Thomas Cole. Okay, well, 3 first names, so you know he's got game.
That's right.
Hey, man, great run this weekend. Perfect weekend. I don't know if you've had a weekend this perfect in your racing career.
No, I ain't never raced a big show, this back-to-back like this. Win both heats and feature and everything. It feels good, and thanks to everybody that helped me out getting it here. Special thanks to Chris. He busted his butt to get this race put together. Everybody that worked this track, we know what we went through this week, or what they went through with the rain and all, and I commend them on that. And they did a good job getting it ready.
I want to let Chris present you this awesome trophy that he made, and I'll say a little bit about it. Man, how about this trophy that you earned for this victory? Chris, hand that to him and present that to him, man, because he deserves that. That is the most unique trophy I've seen in motorsports in quite some time, man. How cool is that you get to throw that on the mantle?
Hey, it's a pretty cool trophy, I will say. I mean, I polish for a living, and I'm going to put this thing right. It's going to be bright when I get done with it.
No other class got one of those tonight, so, man, feel good for that. Hey, anybody else you want to give a shout-out to? Any thanks to anybody in particular?
Yeah, my wife for putting up with me working on a race car all week. My stepdad for helping me out. My kids for supporting me. My mama and my buddy Brock that helped me get the motor in this week. I appreciate everybody's help.
Great job this weekend, man. Pure flawless.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Cole Derrick and Victor Lane here at Timberline Speedway, your Texas State champion and Spooky 25 winner. I didn't know you had that. Hey, yeah. I'm about to get an interview with her. I just got to get the picture real quick. Hold tight. Hey, well, whenever Brad's done, let me get one real quick. All right, 1, 2, 3. Great job, man.
Thank you.
Well, the highest finishing lady in the field tonight. Let me get my race on Texas stuff. You're gonna really have to edit this. Anyhow, the 18-year-old out of Redwater, Texas, hey, that's a pretty unique trophy as well. How about an Ashton as the hottest finishing lady in this particular race? Feel good about the car on that one, or would you like to be a little tick better?
I felt good. The track was a little bit rough, but I did what I could. Definitely did good enough for me. I started 13th and worked my way up, and I guess I ended 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was 6th.
Yeah.
Are you going to run any more races this year at any other area tracks, or what are your plans?
I'm sure, but probably just regular nights here and there whenever I can.
I tell you what, your dad, your mom, everybody, like we talked about on the fence there earlier, said they got to be pretty pumped up for how improved you've become as a young racer in this sport. I've been impressed with you, so I know you've got to be pretty excited about what's to come in the future as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely proud of myself. I couldn't do it without my dad and everybody that supports me and helps me and gives me advice about anything I can do.
Anybody else you'd like to thank?
All of my sponsors, my friends, my family, and everybody just helps me out and lets me do what I love.
Great job, young lady. Sure enjoy watching your race. Can't wait to see some more out of you in the future.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Get up for it, ladies and gentlemen, your highest finishing lady in the field tonight, Ashton Owens. Hey, let me get. I'm about to fall. I got I'm good. Y'all want to get in there? She's got a really sweet trophy, too. I didn't talk about that enough. I didn't see it till now. Hey, your Powder Puff race is on the track. Hey, man. Good job. Yeah, bud. Last night. Hey, for all you race fans that are heading out, thank y'all so much for supporting Timberline Speedway tonight for the night number 2 of the Texas State Championships. Everybody, please be safe headed home. And thank y'all for choosing Billy and Kim White's Timberline Speedway as your racing destination. And on behalf of Justin Whitehead and the Whitehead family, for all of our scores in the tower, Katie Hushelpeck, Marla Green, Rye Covington, our judge jury and executioner up in the flag stand, Scotty Hushelpeck, and myself, Zach Clark. It's been a pleasure to call the action here all season long. Like I said many times, we thank you for choosing Timberline as your official racing destination. Everybody be safe, headed home, be blessed, and be a blessing as the Powder Puffs continue on. Monica Strickland into the 13 is in the race lead. Kara Chastity rides second to the 2X. Mackenzie Brown to the 97. So tough break. Brittany String to the Triple X was not able to make it out. They're side by side for the race lead. Your Powder Puff winner last time out, 97, Mackenzie Brown. To the outside of the 13 for the top spot into 1 and 2. Your final race of the night, the Powder Puff. The ladies trying to put on a show. Door to door for the race lead. Off of 2, down the back straightaway, Mackenzie Brown and Monica Strickland. And Mackenzie's going to go to the race lead in 97. Trying to win both Powder Puff A mains this year. So Strickland back to the second spot. Tough break. Jerica Shirtliff in the 24 did not make it out in either. A few of these guys did not make it. 2 to go for Mackenzie Brown. Your Texas State champion Powder Puff winner will go to the 97 of Mackenzie Brown. Monica Strickland second to the 13. Until she parks the car for your safety. For everybody left in the house. This young lady deserves your round of applause because she won the first Powder Puff race of the year about a month ago. And thanks to all you diehard fans that have hung out to this point. She deserves it. Give it up for Mackenzie Brown in the 97, your Powder Puff winner tonight. Well, Mackenzie, I wanted you to park it in WW Timber Victory Lane because, well, you deserve it. You won both Powder Puff races this year, and this time you had a little bit of a challenge over the 13 to Monica Strickland. You kind of had to battle for that one a little bit.
Yeah. It took a while to get around them, but.
What is it that you kind of find liking with these cars? I mean, I don't want to say you're setting record pace out there, but I mean, you last time out, you were really, really quick.
Yeah, I like it. It's a lot of fun. Been talking my husband into driving the new one. It took a little bit of convincing, but Austin's broke, so I got in it.
What do you learn from Brandon before you get in the car? Anything you can learn, or is this kind of a kinesthetic thing, just hands-on, you learn as you go?
It's in the family,
yeah. So. Anybody you want to thank for allowing you this opportunity, or what?
My family, Brandon. That's about it.
Is it as fun as you expect it to be when the first time you ever sat behind the wheel of a race car? I mean, is it fun or what?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You want to race full time or what?
I don't know about that.
We don't have. It's hard to fund 2 race cars, but if you could, you would, right?
Right.
All right, well, you're very impressive. Keep it up, young lady. Hope to see you more in the future.
Thank you.
Your Powder Puff champion in 2017 won both of them this year, Mackenzie Brown at 97.